Nicolas Rosenberg, an attorney representing Eden Enamorado. We'll have him say a couple of words as well to encourage and empower and let us know what the next step is and how each and every one of you can help us make it true for this bail to come true, and the justice, they do not stay there any other day longer if they don't have to.
Okay, distinguished members of the community who have concerns about the Justice 8 case, my name is Nicolas Rosenberg. This morning I substituted in as the attorney of record for Eden Alex Enamorado. I can tell you, even if you're in the courtroom this morning, I have some updates. The first one is that with the digital discovery that the district attorney Jason Wilkerson, referenced, he said it's 100,000 pages, and I believe it's substantial, social media, IG, Facebook Messenger, etc. So that means that we have to give his office a terabyte drive. So myself and Dan Chambers, we brought our drives. However, the district attorney's office is closed to the public today. Therefore, we're unable to give them that drive. So that means a slight setback as far as our receiving all of the evidence in this case. Now, for those of you, anybody dealt with a case in San Bernardino County before?
Yes.
Okay, so about a couple years ago, the district attorney's office created what they call the discovery portal. So that means when you're the attorney of record, you can log in and download usually PDF files. So since this morning I just became the attorney of record, we need the DA's office to upload the discovery. Now some of you may be thinking, well, hey, Rosenberg, aren't they closed today? Exactly. So I'm hoping that we get that discovery uploaded. Attorney Mauro, and I forget his name, his last name if he's present, but he did get some paper discovery from one of the conflict attorneys. So he said he's going to go ahead and scan and make that available to us. So those are some updates. If you were not in court, you might not have had access to, which is why I'm trying to provide that to you. So when people say, Rosenberg, how's the case looking? The answer is I can't answer until I look at the evidence that the prosecutor thinks that they can prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So let's talk about the prosecutor and their filing authority and discretion. So an ethical prosecutor believes that they can prove each and every charge to the highest standard in the law, proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, if anybody ever been arrested or detained by the police?
Yes.
Raise your hand. Okay, so you know what I'm about to say. What I'm about to say is that officers can arrest somebody on a lower standard of proof that we call probable cause. So in other words, the cops may be driving this prosecution, but the district attorney's office has filed, okay? So there are copies of the charges that you can see on the court website. Inside the court file is a document that we call the felony complaint, and that's about 10 pages in this case. So I encourage you, if you're interested, go ahead and try to get a copy of that. I can email James Membrano that. He's Alex's cousin. So essentially, I hope I've given you a couple updates. Again, ABC7 said they were there, or they would be, however, they were not. So pretty much this is gonna be a grassroots, from the bottom up in Comunidad. That's gonna be, I'll just call it La Movida. So free the Justice 8, free the Justice 8.
Yes. Free the Justice 8. 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 Free the Justice 8.
Okay, guys, thanks for your time.
You know, we found it very important to do a Q&A question. We have 2 microphones. We're going to have him answer a couple of questions for a few minutes. I know the public has pending questions, and I think your questions are very important. 2 microphones. Who would like to ask the first question? Please step up here.
I will.
That one's that speaker over there.
Good morning. My name is Ida Chillot, and I just want to ask, what can we do as community to make sure that we're holding these law enforcement agencies accountable? I am one of the people that has created documents based on the history of the San Bernardino County Sheriff Department and the 4 other agencies, and I believe that there's no way that we can trust that this is an ethical, moral investigation. I think it's been compromised from the beginning, and based on the experience that we have as community and the historical, the historical events that we go through as brown people and indigenous people, we have always been targeted. I mean, we have an elder sitting in jail after being, basically served his sentence, built here. So I think this is the next generation of political prisoners, and there's no way that we can trust that this is a transparent process. I would like to get your perspective as the legal representative. How can we make sure that there's enough pressure? Because from where we stand, these are crimes against humanity. This is part of an ongoing genocide. So I think we need to kind of emphasize the human rights violations that are going on here. Thank you.
Sure. So it's a multi-tiered question. Is this working? Yeah. Okay, I don't need a mic. Okay, guys, so the question is this an ethical, perhaps even a moral prosecution, if I am distilling it correctly for you? And so the answer is, as I was saying earlier, the prosecutor has to believe that they can prove the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, raise your hand if you think this is not an ethical prosecution. Raise your hand if you have questions or concerns about the sheriff.
Can I use both? Both hands. Can't hear you.
Okay, so I was saying, raise your hand if you have questions about whether this is an ethical and moral prosecution. So, at any rate, I hope that answers your question, at least to some extent. Again, I'm an attorney. I am a former community organizer in San Francisco's Tenderloin from 1999 up through 2005 when I graduated law school. So I've been in your position. However, as an attorney, I have to target my message to a judge or to a jury. So in other words, a lot of people here can outflank my activism as this person was bringing up. So anyways, that's my answer. I hope you find it helpful. But again, a lot of what I say is based upon attorney-client privilege. So if I seem like I'm avoiding or dodging, it's because I'm trying to represent Alex correctly.
Thank you. Anybody else have a pressing question?
Yeah.
This is the moment to have it done. Please come forward.
Can I ask, do you plan on representing any of the other defendants?
No, in a case like this, I don't recommend co-defendants. I think everyone has the right to an independent attorney. As the attorney of record, I owe Alex what we call a duty of loyalty. That basically means I work for him and not third parties who are assisting with his representation fees. And the other duty I owe him is a duty of confidentiality. That means I can keep his secrets. So some of my clients will say, hey, Rosenberg, don't tell my old lady, but whoop-de-whoop, okay? So that is part of the representation. So my own reaction is each of the people in Justice 8 should get 8 different attorneys. Having said that, if you see kind of the dynamic in court, we have to be a dream team and work together in order to help free Alex and the Justice 8. Right. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Free them all.
Okay,
Free
guys.
them all.
Free them all.
Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all. Free them all.